So let's change gears. Let's talk about mental wellness. So what really is mental wellness? I would call mental wellness, I call it taking care of you. So when I say taking care of you, I'm sure a lot of people might think, oh, well, that would just be like taking care of your physical self. No, I don't mean your physical body. I mean taking care of who you are. Like your personality, your soul. Who are you? What's beneath that bag of bones and muscle and arteries and organs? So you can take care of yourself by doing a whole bunch of different things. So one, you can have healthy feelings or healthy emotions. Now I'm not saying always be happy, always be me. I'm saying you can be sad. You're allowed to be angry. Just do it in a healthy way. What I mean by being angry or sad or upset in a healthy way would be, let's say for instance, one of your friends decides to talk behind your back. I'd be pretty mad too, understandably. That's not cool. And being mad at them is one thing, but you have to figure out how to be healthy about it. You have to conflict resolute. You have to go up and talk to them and say, hey, listen, I don't like what you did, and maybe it might be something as healthy as just eliminating them as a friend in general. That might be your solution. Having healthy feelings is more about knowing what to do with how you feel. It's also about being trustworthy. Being trustworthy means that someone can rely on you. That makes you feel better sometimes. If somebody knows they can rely on you, they're going to feel better about putting their trust in you. And that's going to make you feel really good. And it's going to help your self-esteem. You should also focus on being compassionate to others. Now, I have this big personal rule called the, So something else you can do is you can also be compassionate. So I have this big thing, I call it the don't be a jerk law. And so basically what it means is just understand where other people are coming from. Understand that other people have different backgrounds. Somebody might not be the same as you. Love them for who they are and take care of them as a person. You can also focus on the good, not the bad. There's so much good in the world that we don't focus on. So I always talk about how the evening news, the 5 o'clock news, they always jump on and say, good evening. And then they tell you all the different reasons why it's not, especially with things in current news. I know there's a reason why we're talking through a camera. Things like that. We tend to focus on all the bad things that are happening. This morning on the radio, I was listening to Mikey and Big Bob, and they were talking about a student from Woodland Hills School District, one that I actually know her. She is heavily involved with a program that I am too. It's called Envision Blind Sports. And so they recognize her for basically just being a super spectacular, I can't remember what the award is, super spectacular, super special standout student award, something like that. Anyways, but just being a good person, just focusing on the good. You also have to love who you are. So self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Now you might have somebody who has a very high self-esteem. Having a high self-esteem means you feel pretty good about yourself. You think that you're all right. You see your strengths and you see your weaknesses and you like to work on your weaknesses. And that's perfectly fine. They feel loved and they feel appreciated. Somebody that might have a lower self-esteem, they don't feel quite as good about themselves. They might feel like they've been unliked. They look at themselves in the mirror and they see something that they don't like. They might see that's it, or they might see, oh, I have braces, I don't have a very beautiful smile. And I think we tend to forget that we don't always have to have the same self-esteem. Sometimes you have a high self-esteem. Sometimes you have low self-esteem. Sometimes it changes day to day, and that's perfectly fine. You just have to remember that other people heavily influence your self-esteem. For instance, if, let's say I was a baseball player, and every single time my dad came to a baseball game or something, all he did was talk about how, oh, you struck out 3 times, and oh, you only got, I don't know baseball, but, and all he did was turn me down. That's going to lower my self-esteem. And you also need to find a way to deal with relative stress as another good way to handle your mental wellness. So handling stress looks different for everyone. I'm an athlete. by nature. I'm a runner. I love to go out and run. And that's always been my thing. That's how I deal with stress. Whenever I feel really upset, I go out and I run. But other people might look a little bit different. They might draw something. If they're musicians, they might just sit down at a piano or sing a song. I don't know. It looks different for everyone. Other people just need to catch up on some much needed rest. And that's perfectly fine, as long as it's healthy. Now, there are some unhealthy ways to cope with stress. So that might be like worrying about something that you have absolutely no control over. It might be overeating, just eating comfort food, not doing anything, binging Netflix for days and days and days on end, developing smoking patterns. It's all different ways that aren't healthy. And it's important to you because we've only got one life. As I talked about with the physical well-being, we've only got one body. You have one life, you've got one shot at this. So why not try to be as happy as you can, be as positive as you can be. Live your life so that you can help others. Take care of yourself so you can help others. Take care of yourself so that you can enjoy the life that you've been given.